Hey there. So I guess this is gonna be a new vlog. Lots of things have happened since we've last talked. Many interesting developments. Many papers read. Many new projects started. For one of the biggest things I'm proud of is that Agora started a hackathon team. And so we've had two projects now. One of them is called Enrique Guy, and this is Japanese for life purpose. Basically, it's an app. It's an AI powered app that helps you find your life purpose and helps you make it real. With reminders, to-do lists, task lists. And it's available through Discord or a phone app on Android that's coming soon. And just recently we've had Profit Pilot. And Profit Pilot is an autonomous sales agent to essentially to have a low-cost sales professional. Sales professionals are very, very big cost. Very big. It takes months to train them. It takes months to see initial first results as they have to prospect, and it's a big, big cost. Actually, quite ironically, salespeople are big costs. Sometimes they never even produce value. So what if you didn't have to pay that much for a full-time sales professional? Now, Profit Pilot is that low-cost, economical sales professional that can handle 100 clients, 100 customers at least. And so, yeah, we made Profit Pilot. Still very early in development, both of them. Those two things are one of my biggest things I'm really proud of. Zeta, I started Zeta a couple of weeks ago. Zeta is an all-new framework to seamlessly and fluidly build the best LLMs and models ever made in as minimal lines of code as humanly possible. So building a lot of models is just like a bunch of reused blocks over and over again. Everything is being reused. Everything is just being reused again and again, and it's all the same code. It's literally all the same code and all the times. Sometimes there's a new thing that comes out, a new operation, a mathematical operation, and a new mathematical operation comes out, and that'll be like one little tweak. But for the most part, transformer blocks, decoder blocks, rotary positional embeddings, these things are being used many, many, many times. Again and again and again and again and again, infinitely. And so, like, Zeta is a simple framework to enable you to utilize these reusable blocks like rotary positional embeddings, flash attention to multi-query attention, decoder blocks, encoder blocks, like the whole vast array of reused of reusable blocks in machine learning. And we also keep up with all the newest like methods, and we'll add those in as quickly as humanly possible. So we're up to date, and so Zeta's kind of like a level up of abstraction from Torch, and that's not going as good as I expected. It only has 9 stars now, but it's very, very stacked and full-fledged. I've worked so much on the documentation. It's unbelievable. You could check it out if you want. It's Zeta, ZETA apac.ai, and yeah, so we have a lot of things there already. It's things that I've been using over all my model projects. That, like, I noticed, like, oh, I'm reusing this. Oh, I'm reusing that. I'm reusing this. Let me just make this into a framework so I don't have to, like, remake it again and again and again and again and again forever and ever. So that's basically most times when I'm making a model, I'm just copying and pasting things that I already did, code I already written, and that's not. Ideally, you want to create. You don't want to just reuse. You don't want to do things that have been done before. That's not. That's already old. That's been done. Not good. We need new things. We need to create new things, and that's my philosophy with Zeta. Now, what else has happened? Some new models: MedPalm, Palmy, Poly, LongNet. LongNet is a new model that can process 1 billion input words. Imagine being able to remember. Imagine being able to read. Imagine being able to have 1 billion words in your short-term memory that you can recall like this. That's basically what LongNet is. That did pretty good, 500 stars, even though it's a pretty simple implementation. It's still not done yet. Most of the models' paper implementations are not done yet. There's something missing for that, and that's the transformer, like the actual transformer block. The attention's done for the most part. Just like the mixture in the paper, they kind of use something like mixtures of attention. And so, yeah, that's LongNet. It's called dilated attention. That's pretty interesting. What else? Swarms. Swarms is not doing good. It's not doing good. The reason for that is I'm not able to see clearly things that should be done, that need to be done. If I don't have a certain intuition level about a project, I probably will stop doing it until I gain a level of insight and intuition into that problem again, and then I'll finish it. And so I'm kind of having like the same roadblock with swarms. That's also just reusing the same functions and classes from like things like LangChain and building up everything again from scratch. Some things that are not built up from scratch is the orchestrator, which takes in multiple agents. You could give it an agent and then it'll scale it up and it'll create like a swarm. It'll create all the infrastructure, all the task assignment, task management, and it'll handle all the logic to make something a swarm. And I know that needs to be made. There's also the auto scaler, which will just scale up the number of agents. And I actually got a book. Called Distributed Systems. So I could learn more about like just distributed agents and things like that. This is basically a distributed system. That's what a swarm is. But the only difference, a swarm is a distributed system that has communication and a goal. So getting agents to talk with one another in a way that's, reliable and actually helps the user solve a problem is very difficult. But a new paper just came out called Algorithm of Thoughts that might provide some insight into solving this question, which I find basically the biggest finding in the paper is that we should not be doing, we have a problem, then an intermediate amount of steps, then we have the solution. No. What Algorithm of Thoughts proposes is that we have a problem, then we have a search process, or we're searching for the outcome, which is what I think reality is. Like every time we want something, every activity that we do, we're searching for an outcome. So like everything that we do, we're trying to create a search algorithm to get what we have, our resources, time, energy, money, life, whatever, into the outputs. If we want money, then we're searching for money. If we want a girlfriend or a significant other, we're searching for that. And so that is, everything is a search process. Everything. And that's kind of the whole premise of the paper. And we're actually trying to implement that now. Now, some of the biggest obstacles that I'm facing now are definitely a lack of resources. A lack of resources. I don't have a full-time team. That is very crippling. I'm doing everything myself. That's also pretty crippling. A lack of resources. I don't have millions of dollars or anything. So it's kind of a mess. So what we can do about that is, well, first we can raise investor money, which is the first thing that comes to mind, but is pretty difficult because a lot of investors don't understand the industry of open source AI, and they're like, well, what are you talking about, bro? Like they don't understand what it is, and so like it takes time to educate and things like that. But we don't have time, to be quite honest with you. I'm also in Miami. There's not a lot of investors here that like I could just open my door and talk to like the VC or like a partner at like Sequoia Capital. That's also not. Yeah. So I also don't really know a lot of VCs. So investor money is difficult. The main problem with it being difficult is that we're not in like consistent conversations. Because when you're raising, I feel like when you're raising, you should be talking to like dozens of investors a day. Dozens, maybe even hundreds. I'm not doing that. I'm not talking to any of them a day. So that's still pretty far off. However, I do think we can mitigate this by just pumping out like really, really good projects, like just like endlessly, like an endless tsunamis of like endless projects that are just crazy good. That's kind of been my strategy. Just pump out like fucking amazing projects and convince people to invest in us, not by my words, but my actions. And a lot of investors have they have like this concern of like, how are you going to make money? How are you going to do that? And I actually find this question the easiest question to answer. Because if you think about it, like someone asked me, how could swarms make money? Who's your customer? And I just like, I excuse them. I understand their point of view. They might not know, they might not just care, but really think about it. You have an AI agent who has long-term memory. It can remember anything, any amount of data. It has access to any tools. It can write code. It can deploy code. It can use the browser. It can automate things. It has access to any tool it could possibly imagine. It could also create its own tools. So this will sell itself, okay? There's infinite use cases. It's not one use case. It's not one defined customer like the many traditional industries have. No. This Swarms has infinite amount of use cases and customers. Just off the top of my head, I've spoken with a lot of marketing agency professionals, and they say that Swarms can be very, very useful in media planning, marketing budgets, estimations, and like media audience analytics. And another one would be another use case would be sales, a profit pilot. That right there, imagine imagine a small business has this thing that is the service that is very sales driven. and they can't hire salespeople. So they just spin up 20 profit pilots, and now they're talking to 2,000 potential customers, and they're getting dozens of phone calls a day, and meetings and customers a day. That's the power of swarms, and swarms is definitely going to completely redefine the world economy on a level never before seen. Because every digital activity will be automated by them. Every single one. Google, Facebook, all those companies are one day going to be managed and optimized and run by autonomous AI agents. Literally every single one. All digital activities are going to be managed by these agents. Logistical operations and problems. Camera lights, analyzing any type of environmental data and then conducting operations on this data will be managed by swarms. Any distributed task that requires multiple people to solve is going to be managed by swarms. Okay, this is definitive, this is irrefutable, and this is happening right now. So that's a big concern some people that I've talked to have. Another one is people don't seem to think that I'm good at sales, which is very interesting because I was signing like $30,000 deals when I was 14. So I don't know what I think people just see me as a developer guy when they don't know like I love sales. So. And then all people also think like, how are you going to make money from an open source? How are you going to make money from an open source project? And that is so, in fact, there are probably more ways to make money on an open source project than there is on a non-open source project. Because you could you could just allow like the open source version to not be hosted. It has like a database that people need to store, that host on themselves, and everything the person needs to do on their own custom infrastructure. And there's no like hosted. Nothing's hosted. Everything runs on the local computer for the user, and that's good for them because they could use the app without any hostings, and they could actually test it out and report any problems to you, so that you can iterate faster. And then you could, if you're iterating, guess what that means? You're innovating, because innovation is simply an equation where it's the iterations per second and the progress between iterations. So if you're not iterating, you're not innovating. If you're not innovating, you're definitely not going to make any profit. You're not going to make any money at all, let alone profit. So people keep saying, like, how are you going to make money from an open source thing? And that's just preposterous. That's a real. I can see why people have this question. They've never seen a wildly profitable open source thing, and I can see why. I understand their point of view. For swarms, or even for swarms Andromeda, we have like I've thought about like almost 50 different products and services and like different business models we can use. One of them is a paid API. So you just call swarms through a paid API and everything's hosted for you, so you could scale up infinitely if you want, but you got to pay, or a UI, a web interface, a nice beautiful platform that you use, kind of like ChatGPT, the platform. Then there's also a marketplace where people could build their own swarms and sell them. One of the first ones would be Profit Pilot. I could just keep going on and on. There's dedicated capacity deals where we can make with enterprises that are like $100,000 a month. And basically there we host everything for you. And and you could use it infinite amount of times. It doesn't matter. So that's a couple of ways we can make money from swarms and Andromeda and Cosmos and the models we wish to implement. So there's that right there. That's like 4 or 5 ways to make a lot of money. Unbelievable amounts of money. Just because a project is open source does not mean that it cannot make money. That is idiotic. That's just a limiting belief. It's not grounded in reality. Um, so, with those concerns tackled and obliterated, what's next? What's next? What's next? I got a lot of books. I kind of one day I realized how stupid I am. I just started buying a lot of books because I'm stupid and I want more knowledge. Um, some of them here. Let me show you. I I absolutely love this book, the PyTorch Pocket Reference. That's pretty cool. I also got a 100-page machine learning book. It's very simple stuff, but it's quite nice to just read over it when I'm bored and learn. I also got this behemoth. This book is an absolute behemoth. It's called the Mathematics of Machine Learning, and this is like all the math stuff, like matrix representation, image and kernels, a whole bunch of math, linear algebra of statistics stuff, matrix decompositions, eigen decomposition and diagonalization. This is a phenomenal book. Phenomenal. Then we got deep learning with PyTorch, which is actually written by one of the authors of PyTorch, but it's pretty old. This book is amazing. Teaches you teaches you the basics, sci-fi and convolutions, generalizations, kernels, stuff. Yep. And I also got some math books here. One of them is on advanced calculus. I love Dover books. Dover books are amazing. I definitely want more, but again, I don't have a lot of money. I'm pretty broke. And for me to get more books, I'm going to have to make more money. Economics is fucking horrible, man. Let me tell you. I also got some hacking books here. I love hacking. Hacking is amazing. Whenever I get bored, I just hack people. Hack banks, hack governments, just hack everybody. Hack the world, man. Also got my handy dandy Bible here. Love the Bible. The Bible's amazing. Best book ever. Definitely recommend it. The book of Zechariah, Jesus, Yeshua. I need to read it more though. I don't read it as much as I should. How to Hack Like a Legend, Hacking the Art of Exploitation. I have more books in here than libraries. It's I could keep going on and on and on. My brain hurts. Life is interesting. My mom wants me to get a car, but cars are for losers. I'd much rather just run places. This past whole month I've been sick. And it's a little bit troubling. I don't know what it is, but I have it. And I'm operating at 1/100 capacity. Yeah. Oh, a lot of people have been talking very mean things about me, and I don't appreciate that. I don't like these rude people being rude all the time with their complaints. A lot of people have been saying, "Kai, your code is GPT generated, bro." So stupid. So dumb. It's so funny because when people talk shit about you and it's not true, The only thing you need to do to like completely just obliterate the opposition in every capacity, they'll never want to mess with you again, is just ask them for proof. And they'll be like, why are you not, man? And they just won't know. They'll literally won't know what to do. It's really, really amazing how much damage you can do by just asking a single question. You can make someone completely rethink their whole life and question themselves on the deepest levels of why they're doing what they're doing, because they don't even know. All these people that have been saying mean things about me have no reason why they're talking about what they're talking about. They're just following the Reddit cult and the cult of the academics who are deploying psychological operations against me and all the other bandits of artificial intelligence, where we just open source research papers and democratize it, because they don't want you to use that technology. I mean, who does? Imagine you're some academic institution, you spend $2 million on some research stuff, and some dumb kid Kai with a beard comes and just implements the whole thing for free, and then gets more famous much faster than you did. That sucks. I can't imagine what that's like. But it's already happened multiple times. So this is all just like, all the people saying mean things about me are just following in a psychological operation by academic overlords who want you to be enslaved to their dumb endowments and tuitions. And like, people keep saying I copy code. I copy code, okay? If there's a piece of code that someone has that I need to build a project that is going to change millions of lives, I'm going to copy it, okay? I don't care. Like, there's nothing you can do to stop me from helping other people. And then, like, a lot of people have been, like, complaining about this. Like, Kai, you copy code. Kai, you copied this person's code. Well, of course, we're all copying each other. Everybody copies each other. Okay? This is like, there's no 0.0. Like, you have negative intelligence. If you just complain, there's a billion things that humans can do to help out and actually advance humanity with artificial intelligence. And then they come to me and say, Kaya, you copied this person's code. You're a bad person. They literally have negative intelligence. Negative intelligence. You're dumber than a rock. Okay? It makes no sense. Instead of helping out, submitting issues or tasks, these people are just saying, Kai, you copy code. That makes no sense. Like, what? So, it's just, I don't know. These problems are just so stupid. Another thing people are very interested about, people just controversy, Tree Thoughts people. Shunu Yao. So, the story is basically, I read this paper, not even the full paper. I read 4 phrases. DFS, which is depth for search, it's a search algorithm. BFS, which is breadth for search. Generate thoughts, generate solutions. I implemented the whole paper with just those 4 phrases. I didn't even read the full paper at the time. I implemented it right after I read the paper. Right after. Then guess what happens? It blows up fast. It got 3,000 stars in a week. And then the actual authors of the paper didn't release their code immediately when they published the paper. Now guess what? Now they're mad that, this guy, he made an implementation and his thing is going faster than ours because we didn't open source the code. And then, like, we all just revert back to monkeyhood. And He gets angry. He gets jealous. Ooh, Kai's getting famous off of my work. Ooh, Kai bad. I go to Kai's village and steal his bananas. And that's what they try to do. They try to come to my village and they try to steal my bananas. But I didn't. I was the monkey that just saw something that the other village was making, and I made it faster than them. And then other people came to my village and they're like, "Ooh, I like his bananas. He made a good banana soup." Ooh, and then the other people came and was like, "Ooh, guy made the banana that monkey made the banana soup that we were making, and we didn't make it fast enough." And that's what happened. Um, that's all that they got mad that I implemented the paper faster than them. I didn't reference their repo at all because I didn't take any code for them. And then they got mad at that and they tried to make me do that, but they couldn't, and they shouldn't have because that's my own repo. Now they wanted they wanted the reference, and I gave them the reference. I did say sorry for calling them bad names and stuff. I never said sorry for implementing the repo. Hell no. I did say some pretty dumb shit. I apologize for that. I sent them an email and everything. Yeah, Monkey 2 is very upset, and Monkey 2 apologizes for calling Monkey 1 silly monkey names. um, and that's what happened. That's what happened. And so, some Reddit guy made a whole post. He called me a scammer. Potential scammer on GitHub, bro. Don't look at his stuff. He's a scammer. And he was trying Logic Guide. I was trying to implement Logic Guide, but I just couldn't. It was just too weird. I did try to implement it. He tried to run it and it didn't work, and he calls me a scammer because of that. And then he also says, "Oh, I copied code from Sophia." I did copy code from Sophia. My repo was worse. I had worse code, and that was actually before they had published their code. So my code was still blowing up. My repo was still blowing up after they published their code, and there was a lot of people coming to my repo, and they were trying out this horrible code that I made. And so I copied their code and I put it on my repo so that people wouldn't have a bad experience, and I could actually use the tech, which is the whole point of this technology. It's not for citations. It's not for credit, who gets credit over what code or any of that. That's just politics. That's just monkey business. The only thing that matters is actually providing things that are beneficial to people and actually solve problems. Everything else is meaningless to me. And so they get mad. You know what? Kai, the monkey, steals. Kai, monkey 2 steals other monkey 1's code. Oh, ooh, let's go to his village. I did copy their code. I never lied about that. I'm very upfront. Everything I do is open source. I mean, literally everything. Everything that I do is open source. I am very honest. I don't care what you think. I'm going to tell you exactly how it is. I did copy their code. My code was bad. I wanted people to have a good experience. That's why I did it. Okay. Now, I also did give them, I also did give them reference too, but you know, both of these people didn't even reach out to me personally. The author of Tree Thoughts and the author of Sophia did not reach out to me personally. They just started, village, let's go attack the monkey. Monkey 2, let's go to his village. Oh, they they literally just started talking shit about me on Twitter, and it's like, "Oh, that guy's code is generated by ChatGPT, man," and psychological operations. It's if they would have came to me and they would have emailed me or even called me. I have my phone number on my GitHub. Everybody has my phone number. You can just call me. They didn't do any of that. They're just like, you know what? Fuck this kid. We're gonna make his life hell. I'm a PhD student and I want to get my PhD. And I don't want this dumb Kai. You know, Kai didn't even graduate high school. Kai's just a dumb monkey too. It's some other village. Fuck him. Yeah, that's what happened. And then some other people in the Reddit thread was like, "Oh, like Kai's clinically insane. He wants to make $100 trillion." That's not. I think that's a pretty. I think that's an underestimate. If you really think about it, imagine having autonomous sales agents that were reliable. I mean, right there, that's like $200 billion in value creation. Not value extraction. We're not talking about just charging people like a $20 subscription or whatever. I'm talking about like creating hundreds of billions of dollars in value. That's just autonomous sales agents. Swarms itself is already like a $50 trillion $50 trillion total addressable market. Every digital task could be automated by swarms. I think I'm providing pretty reasonable estimates here. And also, McKinsey did put out a report that generative AI would create $4.4 trillion a year, a year. So now, what if everything there was just open source? And that's what I do. That's what Agora does. We make everything open source, and so I think $4.4 trillion. You only need that what times. It's not a lot to get $100 trillion. $100 trillion now is not that difficult. Now to make that real, we're gonna need a lot of people and a lot of money and a lot of resources. I understand these concerns, and if we keep leading the innovation, we can't own it. That's stupid. You'll never own innovation. Doesn't matter who you are, Google, Facebook, doesn't matter. If you lead the innovation and you keep iterating and you keep innovating, you're gonna make unimaginable amounts of money. Especially with swarms and multimodality models that we're working on. All these things are open source to iterate faster. So they call me clinically insane for thinking that we could start $100 trillion organization. I think people just, you see, you can't really believe in someone if you don't believe in yourself. How can these people believe in me if they don't even believe in themselves? They look at themselves in the mirror and they don't like what they see. I used to be like that, and that's why I understand their point of view. And so like Kai, you know what? Kai's crazy. He has ambitions. He has goals. Not for humanity. He's too big. You know what? Just fuck him. He's too cool for me. And then like you develop kind of like an inferiority complex. That's what happened to these Redditors who just trying to attack me without even knowing me. They don't know anything. They're like making all these assumptions and opinions. And in America, my friend, you are innocent until proven guilty. Okay? And I proved my guiltiness. I explicitly said I'm guilty. And so sometimes. My repos are not generated by ChatGPT. That's preposterous. I do use it to understand really complex math and paper sometimes. But I mean, like, look at the number of commits I have this year. Like, ChatGPT could not pump out code that works that fast. Okay. If you want quantitative evidence as to that I'm not just having GPT generate everything, that's your proof. And also everything works. These people say my code doesn't work. Well, duh. Sometimes it doesn't work because it's still a work in progress. Logic Guide, they thought I was a scammer because Logic Guide wasn't working. I mean, like it's a work in progress. I never explicitly said that it was done or that it worked. I never said any of those. I think those Redditors just have like insanely high expectations, and they get upset because they set these expectations in the first place instead of thinking, oh, you know what, this is an open source repo. This person tried to implement it. I also explicitly say that this is my own implementation. This is an open source implementation. I never said this is the definitive implementation. Oh wow, that's the line main is kicking in. Holy shit. some mushrooms, mushrooms that make you that accelerate neuronal growth. Some crazy stuff, man. Um, so these redditors were just being mean, they're just Kai Monkey Two over there in that second village, a bad person, bad. Don't take his bananas, they're poisonous. So basically, it's just a bunch of academics trying to wage psychological warfare on me and try to discredit me. It's like, oh, Kai bad, Kai destroyed what we have. Kai give it to all the humans. Let's destroy Kai. So, well, we could remain what we have, and you know what? We could stop the big bad mean Kai from taking all the bananas we have. That's what's happening. I'm trying to remember what else they said. My code didn't work. My repos are generated by ChatGPT. I'm clinically insane. What else? And you know what? They could be right. I could be clinically insane. I mean, how insane do you have to be to just open source every project that you've ever done? Maybe I could be insane. Well, maybe. What else? What else does it say? I'm clinically insane. My repos are generated by ChatGPT. I'm a scammer. How am I? I'm a scammer. Scamming means taking something that someone else has through deception. I never deceived anybody. I did take people's stuff. I took their code. I never lied to them. So that is not scamming. It's like I'm borrowing your code. I'm using your code to help my app, my project. So they call me a scammer. What else? Come on, can't remember. They called me a scammer. They said my code didn't work. I think that's about it. My code didn't work. I don't know what I'm doing. Some people think I came from crypto. It's like these crypto bros, man. So, what are you talking about? I've been making AI models since I was 12 years old. And actually, I've been writing code much before that. I've been making AIs my whole life. So these people don't know what the fuck they're talking about. They're just saying that, oh, the Kai's a crypto bro. He's a scammer. You know what? All the scammers come from crypto. That was a funny one. I actually laughed. I thought that was funny. I try to ask one of the people there, like, what evidence do you have that my code is ChatGPT generated? And they literally just like, you know what? There's no evidence. Let's just keep attacking this person who doesn't attack Kai because we're a cult and we're like a military psychological operation, and we gotta wage warfare on on Kai. It's so idiotic. I asked them, it was like, provide evidence. They're like, how do we know you're real? How do we know you're real Kai? How do we know that you're with us in Village 1 and that you're not in Village 2? Because if you're in Village 2, we're gonna attack you. This is all just like a big monkey simulation. It's so funny to me. This is like a pure monkeyhood. It's like, ooh, monkey 2, monkey 1 stole our code. Let's attack him. This is so stupid. So they were like, I got like -5 downvotes. These people downvoted me. They couldn't provide any evidence at all. None. Zero. And they're like, you know what? He might be from Village 2. Well, let's just downvote him. Dude, this is insane. The Reddit's a cult. Reddit is definitely a cult. People try to call Agora a cult. I don't know how, or why. And then they go on Reddit and they see there's like, oh, guy, you know what? Guy, this scammer, man. Guy's running a cult. And they don't even know that they're in a cult themselves. They're in the Reddit cult. They're in the academic cult. Everything is a cult. Everything that is more than two groups of more than two people is a cult. That's why people have the word culture. Guess what the first four letters are? Cult. Everything is a cult. Every gathering of people more than two is a cult. Everybody. Everything. Maybe not like in a traditional like cult, like some weird, super radically stupid thing like the people who killed themselves. I don't know their name. I mean, if you want to call Agora a cult, I mean, go ahead. Just label classifications on whatever you want. That's a great way to live life. It's so monkey. It's like, ooh, I see banana. I want the banana. No, there is more to reality than what we can see. Everything is not what's in front of us. That's just monkey thinking. Very monkey thought. We have people think Agora is a cult, whatever. Now, the reason why I think people think Agora could be a cult is because I'm like making announcements and I'm trying to like I'm speaking what's on my mind, and some people is like, oh, motivational speech, strong leader. That's a cult. Or someone actually said, are you a cult or are you just really passionate? I don't think like people try to downplay what we're doing, and I think that's absolutely stupendous. Because if you really think about it, humanity only has a chance. We only have one chance in our lives. People go on their phones and they'll tweet all day, and they'll forget that they're actually human, and that if someone put a gun to their head and shot, they'd be dead. That's life. You die. That's life. There is no games. This is not a tweet. This is not a video. This is real life, and you are susceptible to death. These people just like, oh, Kai's running a cult. Like they just see like these words. They don't actually see the blood, the sweat, the tears, the rehabilitation of why we're doing what we're doing. I mean, like, look at my GitHub. You think everything there is to advance humanity. It's not for personal gains. It's not for, I mean, like, whatever people think, why people run a cult. Like, I can't even make money. I can't make a profit. It says in this lovely book here, that the Bible, that you cannot make a profit, okay? I can't make a profit. There is nothing in this for me other than to save my species, which is doomed to death as of this moment because of these Reddit people who just condemn me and they say all these mean things with zero evidence and with no competency at all. Instead of helping me perfect my code or providing and contributing in a way that's intelligent, they're just saying, oh, he's a scammer. He's doing this. He's doing that. And they're not helping at all. They just talk. They're just critics. They're like movie critics. That's meaningless. That's not helpful to anybody. That's not even helpful to you. You're not gaining anything from that. If you help contribute and you point out, oh, Kai, you're an idiot. You did this wrong. Then I'll fix that. And then like now I actually can benefit you. There's no point in just talking shit. Ooh, Kai's a scammer. Kai's code logic guide doesn't work. What part of it doesn't work? These allegations are just idiotic, and they're saying all these things about me, and then like someone like Lucid Reigns exists, and they don't even know about him. And he's the reason why I'm doing this in the first place. And this has never happened to him at all. So they see some young kid, Kai, you know, who's he? He thinks he's so entitled. He thinks he's so egotistic. Ooh, I'm mad against Kai. Let me go take his bananas. That's what's going on in these Redditors' subconscious. I just try to implement papers because I'm curious. And then like, ooh, Kai's bad. Kai's code doesn't run. Kai's a scamming monkey. It's just so dumb. This is like, these people are literally reverting back to monkeyhood. I'm here trying to compute like super advanced vector calculus, linear algebra math, and they're like, oh, Kai's a scammer. That's the stupidest shit I've ever seen in my life. It's so stupid. I'm trying to write good code, and they're saying my code doesn't work, and they can't tell me what's wrong about it. How does that? Where's the logic in that? There's no logic guide in there, is there? No, there isn't. Using, you know what? Now some people are saying my reputation. I don't have a good reputation, and I certainly don't. I most certainly don't have a good rep. I am the bandit of artificial intelligence. If you have something valuable, I'm taking it. I don't care who you are. I don't care what you do. I don't care what I don't care about you. I care about using what you made to benefit all of us. And people don't like that. People, the academics hate that more than the industrialists. The academics hate this because everything they do is based on reputation. For a field so obsessed with technology, math, things that are just beyond human understanding, are so involved in human politics, in reputation, in egos, and all this stuff that is limiting. It is an obstacle to our advancement. These things are not conducive to anything useful. They're not substantial. Reputation is meaningless. Okay? Now, the only thing that matters is solutions to problems. This is my philosophy. This is why people are mad at me. I seek solutions. I don't seek reputation. I don't seek egos. I don't seek profits. All that stuff is stupid to me. So the academics certainly do not like that, and they're gonna try and crucify me. And I will be the Jesus of artificial intelligence. I am sacrificing myself to open source all the papers, to do all this. People call me an idiot. People call me a scammer. I'm making it easier for you to utilize their projects as simple as possible without having any paywalls, without having any knowledge walls. Because if there's no implementation of it, then you have to know everything in the research paper, and they hide all, like they try to hide things, and it's just a mess. I'm sacrificing my time, my money, my knowledge, my energy for you, so that you can utilize these technologies in a simple manner. And they don't like that, and they're trying to crucify me, but it's not gonna work. Maybe I'll die and I'll come back. Maybe I'll never die and I'll just hold strong. But that's what's happening now. These people are trying to attack me, and they see all the bad stuff. They don't even see the good. I mean, like, look how many repositories I've implemented. Hundreds. So what are you talking about? 3. Oh, Tree Thoughts, Sophia, and Logic Guide. Oh, Kai's bad. 3 repositories. No, it's I'm not condemning them. It says in the Bible, do not condemn. Condemn and you will be condemned. I'm not condemning them. I fully understand them. Sometimes we can't find the good in something. Sometimes we can only see the bad in something, and they see the bad, and hopefully they can see the good. They can see why I'm doing what I'm doing, and again, there's nothing in this for me. I have nothing to gain. I have everything to lose. I'm just losing now. There's nothing for me to gain in this. None. And people are going to ask you, why are you doing that then? Because sometimes it says in the Bible, okay? I am Christian, and in the Bible, Jesus fasted for 40 days. 40 days, he didn't eat anything. Now, if you were to ask people, hey, have you fasted 40 days? They think you're insane. Because society has told you to be greedy, to be selfish, to always do everything in your own self-interest. And this is just idiotic. Because you're not your own, there are no individuals on this planet. Zero, none. They don't exist. Individualism is just an economic social behavior term that companies try to create so people can become greedy and act out of their own self-interest. Literally, the whole law of economics is that the predicament of economics and rationality is that someone is willing to make a purchase if they think it's in their best behalf. That is stupendous because it's not true. Acting out of your own self-interest is actually acting in your own self-detrimental interest. You're destroying yourself because everything is a swarm. Everything is interconnected. There's nothing that is independent from one another. There's nothing that is individual from one another. That's stupid. That is very dumb. And to think that is insane. The reason why I'm able to discover this is because in the Bible, Jesus never made anything about himself. In fact, he sacrificed everything about him. He sacrificed everything that he was for other people, to provide a better life to other people. And he sacrificed himself in literally every capacity you could think of. Mentally, physically, spiritually. He went through so much pain. And look where it got him. It gave him nothing. And as a Christian, my purpose as a Christian is to walk exactly in the same footsteps as Jesus. To try to be like him in every capacity. Every single one. And like artificial intelligence now, they see this young kid and they're pretty skeptical. And I would be too. This kid he comes in, he starts implementing all these papers, he starts building all these things, and now, I see their point of view. They're just not very familiar with the Bible. And I can see that they're not Christians themselves, because Christians are supposed to sacrifice themselves for the betterment of others. And like I said, everything is interconnected. Nothing is disconnected or fragmented, especially in human societies. Whatever I do impacts you. Whatever you do impacts me. Everything is interconnected, and it's a never-ending cycle of cause and effect. Okay, this is life. This is existence. So I literally have nothing to gain from this. I'm just losing everything. I could be spending my time making just unbelievable amounts of money. Just money, no open source, nothing. Just like money. But that's too easy. I already did that earlier in my life. It's a waste of time, really. Making money is easy. You can hack a couple bank accounts. You could sell one thing to one person. $50 million, baby. Woo, look at that. That's easy. I've already done that. Both of those things and many other things. What is not easy making money is actually providing and creating something that is unimaginably useful for other people. And that's why I've devoted my life to open source artificial intelligence. And I create things that hopefully could be useful to other people, and I try to help make it much more easier and seamless and actually useful for other people. I'm not doing this for money. I'll probably always be somewhat in poverty. I did go 40 days without eating. Well, mostly for Jesus, but also because I was broke and I didn't really have money. If you think, oh, I'm lying, that's very common. I would probably agree with you. It's like Kai programs, and he also didn't eat for 40 days. Yeah, you know what? Kai's a liar. Don't believe me. I don't care. I did write a blog about it. So if you want to learn a little bit about why I did it, what I felt, I did write a blog about it. Just look up Kai Gomez fasting like Jesus. What else? You know, this cycle is interesting. Some bad things happening. I became friends with a duck at my office. I called him Vortex. And then we're best friends. I would go out when I was I just coding for 5 hours straight and I couldn't think. I went outside, I talked to him, gave him some food. And I did that for many weeks on end. And then one day, it just gone. And then I cried a lot. That was very, very depressing. You know what? Kai is you're friends with a duck? Yeah. I like all life. I think all life is very, very holy. And I think all life is the most valuable substance that we can ever own. And having my friend taken away from me is very, very troubling. Also, a cats that were staying in our house. A cat that was staying in our house at home got run over by a car. And it was a kitten. It was young, 3 months, 4 months old. And it's just gone now. That was also very sad. Those two things have been just made me very, very, very sad these past couple of days. I love animals a lot. I love all animals, all species, all humans. Those two things were very troubling. Very, very troubling for me. Now I would say the next steps in my life are to gain a hold of a lot of money. I mean, unimaginable amounts of money. To invest into hiring an amazing team, a world-class team of AI engineers and sales professionals. So to sell our solutions to enterprises and everyday people. So get money, use that money to build AI models, deploy those AI models, use that money, sell them, then use that money to build better AI models, fine-tune them, fine-tune them, then use that money to create better models, and then fine-tune them, fine-tune them, then sell them, then use that money to create better models. And that's the plan now. I don't know what it's going to take to get investor money or grants, maybe. I don't know. It's just like every time I try something like that, it just doesn't work out. I don't know. I think my mom said I was kind of destined to do all this alone, and it's very sad. Because if people just had one look at some of the work I've done, and like the implications of that work, they would invest. And so I guess I just need to talk to more people and build deeper relationships, and maybe I'll get investment. Maybe. Or I could just keep pumping out amazing code and just wait till the world builds on my work one day and then blow up. And then all the investors will be like, you know what? Kai talked to me. I didn't listen to Kai, but now I want to invest in Kai. And that's so troubling because I was trying to tell you this from the beginning and you didn't want to listen. You thought, you know what? Kai is stupid. Kai is young. He doesn't know anything. But I forgive you. I forgive all those who have denied me and who have just casted me out. Just how Jesus did. So yeah, I think I'm gonna sum it up now. I'm gonna finish this now. My head hurts, and I haven't ate anything today. I was either go to the office as soon as possible when I woke up, or eat. I just go into the office and building things that help people rather than eating, as Jesus did as well. So for all those who doubt me, who deny me, who cast me out, who call me names, I'm just a Christian. I'm trying to act like Christ. I love you, and I want to help you, but I can't if you do not allow me to. I'm not here for anything bad. I'm here to make everything good. I'm not here to steal or scam. I'm here to build models and stuff that can enable you to overcome all the obstacles you want to overcome. That's why I'm here. All right. Have a good night. Wow, it's already been an hour. Huh. I hope you didn't get bored listening to this. Thanks for your time. And join the Agora Discord. It's apac.ai / Agora, Agora. And then there'll be a Discord link there. And if you want to text me, call me, email me, my phone number is 786 +1 786 695 5339. My email is Kye, at apac.ai. Thanks for your time, and let's advance humanity together.